Mother Nature's lies. Take back your child. Take back your child. Oh, this is
oh yes, our Miata formula. Oba. This is your child. Come and take your child. This is your time. Some of them say this is our time. This is our time. Oh yes, I want some of them saying, "Yo, this is our time." Time to put Liberians on the knees. We want our $16 billion back. I'm not waiting for November. I'm not waiting for the end of this February. Thank God, say I forget the month. I am not waiting for February ending. We want our money and we want it now. Alright, coming up on the print news reviews shortly. We'll be reading you the letter we sent to the the US Embassy near Monrovia, and you say our petition letter with respect to the releasing of the investigation. Okay, we wrote them today, and our letters are on its way. In fact, it's gone through email, so it should be there now. And we sent the letters to a couple of media outlets as well in Liberia. Hopefully, some of the radio stations will pick it up and carry it tomorrow. But we'll read the letter to you later on in the show. But this is the program called Print News Review. This is the time or the program that will actually go into the newspapers, especially those of them that are publishing online from Liberia, and we'll bring you those stories that actually made the news today. Sorry, today due to some other technical problems, I won't be able to bring you the news across the continent of Africa itself. But welcome to the show. Good evening. Let me say a big good evening to my Mother Nature's I can see my dad, my good friend, Dr. Nathaniel Bounce, and welcome. But this is Miata family. very, very meaningful song here. If you're really getting the lyrics of it. Miata Fambula Oba. This is our time, eh? Let me say good morning, good evening, good afternoon to every one of you, and welcome to the program, The Print News Review. Thanks to all of you who were with us here this afternoon. We had a brilliant time on the Max K talk show. It was brilliant because we had a young man who was also brilliant, eloquent, and who was very, 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 very focused in terms of putting his viewpoints across. So thank you for your support, and we appreciate you. Thanks for all of you, especially those of you that always, the moment you come on the platform, you start to share the video around and inviting other people. I appreciate you. I adore you for that. It's great to be back on the show. Is the Print News Review, and on this segment of the show, we take a look at those news development as they are reported in the print news, especially on the online version from Liberia. We will be visiting about 3 newspapers. Let me say 4: Liberian Observer, the Bush Chicken, the New Public Trust, and the Front Page Africa. I'll bring you some of those stories that actually made the news from this morning, the GMT time. Some of them will go and dig deeper in them and bring it to light. But we have a talking point tonight, and I really do want all of you to contribute to the talking point. And the talking point, your thoughts on the last fishing contract signed single-handedly by Mr. George Weah, head of state of Liberia, with the Senegalese government. I mean, I'm talking about the last visit. The most recent visit was in Senegal. And this is not a strange story anymore. We all know about it. It was a secret first, but it is out. And we know now, we are aware, about 300, just 300, maybe, is it just a huge number? A fisherman from professional, probably let me put it that way, professional fisherman from Senegal will be coming on the shores of Liberia, on the waters of Liberia, let me put it that way. This contract, to be honest with you, we have no idea with respect to how much detail we got, because even the video clip we got is in French. Remember yesterday, I put on Facebook, I'll make an announcement and looking for somebody who can speak French. But if you're on this platform and you can speak French as well, understand and speak French, I wouldn't mind playing it later on, and then or playing it by the time you're ready, and then you can also call via the video and perhaps interpret the message to us, because our president speaks French, and the country he went to visit, they speak French there as well. So every communication was done in French, probably including the important document, which is the contract. You know, my fellow citizens, some of us, the people, certain elements in our society, I actually getting angrier every day for for the way we advocate. Let me put myself in the picture. The way I advocate. Especially since after this election, many people that yesterday we referred to one another as friends, many of them backed away. They backed off. Some of them were even in the government. Some of them were even representatives and senators as well. That when they and myself were every day on the back of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and the UP government regarding how the government was being run, we were very good friends. You know, on many occasions, by the time I emails or I send message to somebody, even by way of text message or so, I'll get a quick reply. Even by virtue of inviting them on a talk show, they will come and we talk. Anything about corruption, about the former government, UP-led government, anything that we're discussing and corruption happen to come in or so, you will hear them bombarding. And some of them almost like they want to pass through the microphone and just meet you and sit with you face to face and carry on their expressions. That's how we were running the campaign. That is how we were actually advocating for Liberia. I'm talking about during the 2 terms of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. I have family people in that government, but I didn't like the way they were doing most of the things. I didn't like the way they were fighting corruption. And because of that, I was on their back almost every day. I was writing letters. And these very people today that are saying that I am not talking the right thing, I am not doing the advocacy the right way, they are the very people that we all were on the same fence yesterday. We were sitting on the same fence yesterday looking down and taking action. And some of them yesterday, they went into the carpenter shops and even rent. I'm telling you this, they even rent empty caskets, and took it around Monrovia. And they said corruption was too much, so they are going to bury corruption. And the leader and the entire government of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, yes, that's what they said. And for me personally, the moment they attached corruption, they attached, security issue there, they attacked armed robberies, they attacked rape issue and thing, I got behind them as well. I was supporting them despite the fact of the far distance. I said, yes, we have to make it known to the public. We have to make it known to themselves as well and tell them that corruption is wrong. You're sitting on the fence and you're seeing our children being raped to death, women being abused to the extent that their life is no more on this planet Earth. It's wrong. And I got involved and we did it every day. We did it every time they called upon us. And today, they are empowered today. Majority of them gone so silent. It's like sometimes I want to wonder whether I'm wondering whether some of them are even alive. Yeah, sometimes I do. I do wonder if they are alive. On many occasions, I used to be on one of the radio stations in Liberia as an international co-host for a talk show in the morning. And one of the religious callers on the show was the now Speaker of the House, Buffett Chambers. And this man was religiously on the back of Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf every day, crying on corruption, crying high on bad governance. And I started with him, and I used to join him, and we bombard the government. I can remember once upon a time, I think it was 2015 or so, I went back home for vacation, and I had a couple of friends at the Capitol building. I decided to go and pay a visit. From the Senate to representative or so. I didn't even know him personally. And as I was walking, passing by, you know, the doors, they got their names on there also. And I have to pass by his office door before I could reach to, the door I was going to, one or two doors between. And by the time I was approaching his door, he came out. I could recognize him from the face due to a newspaper printing also. And apparently he spoke to somebody there, and the voice to rang bells as well. Then I called his name and said, Honorable Chimos, Buffer Chimos. And he stopped and said, how are you? And then I introduced myself to him. I said, this is Max Mixer. He said, wow, Maya, you in town? I said, yeah, I just come in. In fact, I came to pay my respect anyway. And then he said, I'm so happy to see you. I'm just rushing out for a meeting. Quick, this is my card. You can give me a call later. Perhaps you can come back later or tomorrow to visit. I didn't have the time to come and see him. Another time I went back to the Capitol building. I was just about entering the main corridor, and he saw me because he was walking out, and he called my attention. I said, yeah, and I spoke to him. He said, oh, I just about going out, but probably we can have a word in my car. And just walked to his car. And that day, he took coupons of gasoline, I think about 5 gallons of gasoline, well, I think worth $25 anyway, and gave it to me and said, this one to help with your petrol cost. And I said, oh, thank you. And he said, well, you're doing brilliantly, you know, although you're way over there, but your voice is being heard here. What you always say on the radio is, you know, is worth hearing. I said, yes, sir, we have to do it because this is Liberia. But shamefully now today, this is what the man is doing. Besides going quiet on some of the very issues that he was so bitter about during Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's time, besides going quiet, he himself is just in bad deals. So you have season to talk against stuff? How wicked these people are. Or today, because you control your own budget, or you control the budget of the house. So today, everything is okay. Yesterday, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's time, everything was wrong. And today, everything is okay. Right? Honorable Buffer Chambers, let me put the honorable there just in case. For me, I'll keep reminding you and the rest of you guys. You people are so unpatriotic, and my brother just said just now. You don't love this nation. You people are so false pretenders. So many of them yesterday before even the election could come. Whenever I invite them on the show here, we're coming to talk about this. We're coming to talk about education. Let's talk about, the job issues. Let's talk about young people, opportunities, and all of stuff. They will be so happy to come. Today, now we invite them. Last week I posted. I said, God, this is what I want to talk about. Let's look at the 1 year period of the CDC-led government. Welcome on my platform. Come and share with the people. What is it that you can boast of? What is it? Where you guys have made a mistake that you want to cover up in the next 2-3 months? And I named them I put names in that request, and I posted on Facebook, including, I will name it again, Bobby Wordfield from all the way to Australia. He's right there now. I named Mama Sikaba on this platform, on my platforms, on many, many occasions. I invited her here, we talked, and her voice was louder and very louder every day. I also invited Eugene L. Fagon. And it was a challenge invitation. This is the 3rd day now. None of them. None. Then when you come on social media, you just post and you're gone. Everything is okay. Everything is all right. Liberian people, you start complaining. All is well. But the fact of the matter, you fail to know that when you go back home in Liberia, or the way you are in Liberia, you do not reach to the people that actually matter. From your car, in your fence, in your dark car, you're going to your office. From your office, perhaps to the supermarket or to the restaurants. You don't mingle with anybody. Even the very community you live in, you don't know anybody there. Nobody. And then you say you're representative, you say you're senator. You don't go back to give the people report. Say, yes, they elected me for 9 years. They elected me for 6 years. This is why some of us, we really want, we'll keep pushing for it. We will have to bring down the term of office. The term of office have to come down. At least to 4 years for the Senate and the President. You put somebody in the seat, whether they qualify or not, for 9 years. 9 years. And somebody say, I'm a senator. 9 years. Somebody sitting there for 6 years. They don't care to go back to their community. They don't care to go back to their constituency. They don't care. Because why? They don't love the country. They don't love you. They don't love us. Every day they say they're doing this, they're doing that, or so. But let's go back. Let's go strictly to. I just wanted to share this with you because some of us are getting angrier every day. Because every day you wake up in the morning, you don't hear good news about your country. You're thinking about waking up in the morning. By the time you reach somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning, you have a look on social media. The next thing you will hear, money got missing somewhere. By the time you get into afternoon, midday or so, you hear money got missing somewhere. And by the time it's going to evening time, money got missing somewhere. And every day, how will this nation move forward? How will the children of Liberia have a future? Next generation. When we have a bunch of people who just sit there, they don't care about the children of Liberia. Let me see who is on the dashboard now. Daniel Wisner. Let's see. We'll read a letter to you, the letter we wrote today to the American ambassador, and to UC as well. We said that we are not happy with the time frame. November, end of November is too far for us. We don't want to accept it. But let's see whether we can get, oh, it's a declined. Oh, what happened? We just lost the brother there. Try to place the call again. So let's read the letter to you, and then we will do the papers. Okay. The call coming back again. Let me check. All right. Yeah. Let's check for Daniel. The call is going. Okay, Daniel is on. Daniel, it's great to see you. How are you? Good afternoon.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I'm very well. Thanks for asking. I hope you're doing well too.
I'm okay, man. Well, I'm calling you from Italy.
Oh, Italy. First call from NASA. Thank you. Welcome. How is it there? How our community there?
Yeah, it's in the night here. Anyway, it's in the night here.
So how is our community there? Because I'm not too far from you. I'm in London.
Yeah, your line is bad. I don't know. It's coming in broken.
No, but we're getting you clear. I'm getting you very clear, loud and clear. All right, then try and call back and see. Try and call back. I think Daniel was in problem. Finding from there. Anybody else want to call just before? But let me go now. Let me read a letter to you. Justice Forum Liberia. We have copy UC Liberia, 502 Benson Street, Monrovia, Liberia. Her Excellency Christine Herder, U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Benson Street, Monrovia, Liberia. All right, Augustine, I'll soon give you. Let me read the letter. 30 January 2019. Your Excellency Ambassador Elder. A few months ago, Liberians were informed regarding a missing containers of printed local currency which was brought in the country to assist in balancing the economic crisis the nation is faced with, focusing on retrieving the excess money that was on the market. This news went wide like fire in the savannah grass, and up to today, Liberians, especially in the diaspora, are faced with embarrassing questions regarding such money in a total of Liberian dollars 16 billion. We heard huge conflicting statements from key individuals, including the current Minister of Information, Mr. Len Eugene Nangbe, the chairman of the governing CDC party, Mr. Moruba Molu, the finance minister, Mr. Samuel Tue, and the central bank governor, Mr. Nathaniel Patrick. Combining all of their accounts and taking into consideration what each of them said, it is convincing that this money is gone missing. Your Excellency, when the people of Liberia decided to reach to your government through you to assist in instituting an investigation, you and your embassy accepted to help. All Liberians were happy for this gesture, and we celebrated, and probably many are still celebrating and waiting on the outcome. Madam Ambassador, a few days ago, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George Weah, delivered a nationwide address, also known as State of the Nation speech. During his speech, the President told the Liberian people and the rest of the world that the missing 16 billion is still being investigated, and that you said through your embassy and others who were involved in the investigation will make their report available by the end of February 2019. Your Excellency, as advocates for social justice and one of the many civil society groups who have been campaigning for the truth to be told about this money, we are not happy with such timetable given by this administration for the release of the report that has been completed and documented. We want to also remind you, your embassy and you say that your reputation is at stake right now, and any attempt by you people not releasing this report before said date will make us to question your credibility as well. We, the Liberian people, have waited long enough for such economic crime or criminal act of certain individuals who wants to still see our pregnant women going to hospitals and healthcare centers to give birth, but either both of them die or the woman will come home without her child. Madam Ambassador, as a woman and a mother, we want you to think how such money could have transformed many of our dilapidated healthcare centers across Liberia, transform many of our schools where the kids of Liberia are sitting on a bare floor to learn. Think about the thousands that are still going to bed hungry, leaving for schools in the morning without breakfast, etc. Your involvement in this investigation was like you coming out of your embassy during the war and sharing rice to Liberians. The joy was beyond explanation. We are begging you and your team, including USAID, to please make this report available to the Liberian public before the date stated by the President, His Excellency George Weah. We are sure that by now such report is already with the Secretary of State for African Affairs. But why not us that the report is so particular about? We are also forwarding this letter to USAID. We say many thanks for your kind intervention in this matter as we remind you of what you wrote on your website as stated herein. And I quote, "At Embassy Monrovia, our mission is to help Liberians succeed. We support this mission by working with our Liberian partners to initiate and pursue innovative, sustainable efforts that 1. Promote peace, security, and the resolution of regional conflicts. 2. Encourage equitable economic growth. 3. Improve governance and rule of law. 4. Expand equitable access to quality educational opportunities. And 5. Improve health of women and children. And lastly, advance the prosperity and safety of Americans at home and abroad." Yours truly, Justice Forum, Liberia, based in the UK. So this is a letter we wrote The letter is already there because we sent it via email, and also we sent it to a few news outlets in Liberia, both online. Let me see what we can get. Augustine, but Augustine, you need to place a call because I can't see you. Yeah, Augustine, I can't see you on the dashboard. So place the call, please. Yeah, place the call. Anybody can place the call, and I will take it. So that is the letter we wrote. So let's go back on the drawing table. Now you can call and also make your comment as well. What we have on the talking point is this: your thoughts on the last fishing contract signed single-handedly by Mr. George Weah, head of state of Liberia, with the Senegalese government. Have your say with due respect. Have your say with due respect. All right, so let's see. Time fast spent. While I wait your call, just call in because I can see you on the dashboard to call you, Augustine. That's the difficulties. And I'm gonna keep stretching my hand, and maybe I'll hit the gadget in my phone, and then we lose the broadcast. So let me go to the let me see. Maybe some comments are here already. Let's see. Thanks to all of you who sharing the video as well. I appreciate you very much. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, let me see. Let me take your comments. Let me take the German C. Flumo. Max, this is a wake-up call for you. It shows that many Liberians are unpatriotic and grievous seekers. Liberians are good at talking when they are sitting on the fence, but giving them power, they behave more than the people or government that they criticized. Politicians in Liberia are belly-driven and stupid. The so-called lawmakers are a bunch of poor, hungry, greedy, and misguided people. Let me replace that word with people. But I don't know what gadget you're using, because if you're using a smartphone, you will see it there. But if you're using things like Apple, also it will be difficult. Can I go to Joseph Jackson? Let's see if, oh, Jackson is a no. Clearly, wait. All right, Joe Jackson, try again. I just, okay, but he said no. Okay, I'm watching. Okay, no, I'm looking for. All right, Augustine Guay say different governments, same system. Priscilla Myers, you say, yeah, Max, it was 4 years for the president office. We need to fight to come back to it. I agree with you. We need to do that. Okay. Sikova Nelson Nokofo says, yeah, the law says it requires ratification. So that means, yes, we have the right to do it. He already giving us the article to read, Article 57, which is, of course, in my constitution here as well, a copy of the constitution here as well. So I don't have the time now for us to go through that. I don't think so, because of we have to read the paper, Article 57. Oh, it's not that long anyway. The president shall have the power to conduct the foreign affairs of the republic and the connection. He is empowered to conclude treaties, conventions, and similar international agreements with the concurrence of a majority of each house of the legislature. Nokofo, if you can call us, man, and explain this better, please. I don't know, what are you talking about, the tenure office or this signing of let me go back on the dashboard. Let's see, Joseph is back. Let's see whether we can get Joseph. Oh, Joseph is saying no way again. Oh, gotta check your gadget. I don't know. Yeah, Joseph has said no way he can. I just no way for Joseph. Joseph, I'm so sorry. Augustine as well. I don't know why you guys are not coming through. All right, so we'll find it difficult. Maybe somebody else could try. Let me see if I can get somebody. But let me read. Let me give you a little bit of the headlines here. The worst thing to happen to Liberia is government and the ignorance of the people. This is a brother that I really want to call Augustine Weah, but he's not coming through. He really want to. All right, let me activate my Skype. No, it's not yet activated. Let me go back on the dashboard. I don't know. Maybe. Okay, let's go to Amos. Okay. Oh, it's going through. So let me activate the Skype quick for number 4, so number 4 can call. Oh, Amos, we got you. Great.
Okay.
You got to show us the technique now because many people are suffering.
I mean, just if that smartphone just go on the rotate, the app or the arrow there and touch that rotate and make your phone horizontal. That's all.
Right, yeah. So, oh yeah, because some people, I think they got their phone not really on rotation, and
Yes.
that little button when you get your finger down, you'll see it there, and you just click
Yes.
on it. So the moment you turn your phone, it will turn. If you carry
Yeah.
straight, it will turn. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So that's it. Anyway, welcome. Lokofo is coming. He's just coming to join us now to explain about this article 57 a little bit. But first of all, with respect to the well, I don't know where you listened to the letter we wrote. What is your say on that letter that we wrote, and also the talking point now about this fishing contract that have been signed. What is your own personal take on it as well?
Oh yeah, the letter is quite in place because the president Monday just told us that the report will be on the 28th. And the question is why we should be waiting for all that time when the report, according to the information, is on the desk of the assistant secretary for African Affairs. It is there already. So why wait there? Wait February 28th. What is it? Hold on. Is it they are in consultation with the government or what? So they are supposed to speak to us because it was not the will of the government. It was because of pressure from the Liberian people that forced the government to even make that request. And besides that, the citizen went to the embassy, presented a petition to the American embassy and other diplomats around Morocco.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right, you must go ahead. I don't need to bring it close to this to the microphone.
Yeah, so that was the reason. So we are, as we wrote the letter, let it just release the report to the Liberian people. What is the difference the 28 will make? What's the difference if the report is already prepared? What the 28 will do? It will not change anything. If at all, it's been done already, let it just be released instead of people speculating and making people to get more angry because some people are getting agitated with this whole thing here. So let the embassy just release the report and then we'll move forward from there. And then coming to this fishing vessel issue, Mac, you and I were talking this thing yesterday. When my eye caught that, or if you go into the president's speech, my eye caught that thing when the president in his speech mentioned there was a landmark visit to Senegal, and that was just it. There was no further elaboration, and that caught my attention. And I told him, I said that thing meant something. The president did not mention anything. He just said landmark visit to Senegal, and I started wondering before that video surfaced. But let me say, Nokofo maybe will elaborate more when he said that Article 54 gave the president the right to conduct all foreign affairs and what have you. but he said in consultation with the national legislature. And today, front page, if you read front page, what it said, the document was signed on the 22nd of January. The president gave his speech on Monday. Did not even mention a possession negotiation. But the Director General of Fishery in Liberia, Ms. Glasgow, you could see her in that video signing the agreement. Then the Deputy Director today said that the Minister of Finance and Planning and Economic Affairs and the Minister of Justice will have to attest to that. But then here's my question. How can you go and sign an agreement outside of the country, then you say, we'll come back to the country, to Liberia, to be attested by the Minister of Justice? I thought the Minister of Justice of Planning and Economic Affairs would have been part of that body to represent the government. How can you reconcile those statements? Then secondly, he said that the Senegalese fishermen will be coming to train Liberians how to start piracy from the Liberian water. And are you telling me? And then they said one of the boats will import in 3 Liberians or 4 Liberians. So what are you saying? What is the economic benefit? He's saying, they said that the fish and things caught will be sold in Liberia. But if it is sold in Liberia, what is the economic benefit to the country? What is the revenue? How the revenue going to be distributed? They mentioned about registering the boat. But beside that, what are people going to be paid to the Liberian government as a revenue? Those 300 boats, they have not said how much revenue will generate beside the registration fees and things they're talking about. $1,000 in US per boat. But the question, the deeper question here is, why the government went outside Liberia, not even making a pronouncement to say, well, we are negotiating this contract in Senegal on behalf of the Liberian people. So by this time, the contract will be concluded. There was no pronouncement made until people sneak out this video to Liberians before we start raising the question. So even if the president has the authority, don't the president order the Liberian people to inform the Liberian people of any deed that he's making abroad? Well, Mike, I tell you something. The news that has been circulating that President Weah got a private jet back in Senegal. That is a reward of the Senegalese people keeping that jet for President Weah. To sell the Liberian of marine life to Senegalese for little. It's a giveaway, Mike. Giveaway. Over 100 some more years, we have fishermen in Liberia. They go on sea for weeks. Are you telling me those people are not trained to fishing? Are you going to get people gone to fight the piracies on the Liberian water? I thought it's the responsibility of the Coast Guard to protect Liberian sea. If the government is not prepared or is not adequate to fight piracy on Liberian water, they can contact international bodies. They can contact the American embassy, the American government. They can contact Britain. They can contact France. They can contact these people that, look, because of our sojourn, we cannot protect our water, our international water. We are asking you to give us assistance to help protect our water. But you're going to bring people from Senegal when already BBC and the locals in Senegal have said it. How the fishermen had depleted their fish in Senegal. And the matter of fishing. On BBC.
No, we hear you.
Senegal. What will happen to the local fishermen? How can a local fisherman compete against these people? And how will we know the species, the endangered fish? How will we know that these people are catching it and putting it back in the water? What is the protection for the endangered species? Because that's how they had done to Senegal and destroy the whole coast there. No more fish.
Yeah, it
So
was
now
even
you
on,
brought
it was even on BBC as well.
it's a clear cut. It's on BBC. Even the World Health, the World Food, they all reporting this thing here. The
Yeah.
locals in Senegal, they are saying that how the ocean have been depleted by the kind of fishing method. And President Weah went and signed that contract, not telling one Liberian, even if the Constitution gave him the authority to negotiate on behalf of Liberia, yes, but the same Constitution gave him the right to inform the Liberian people, not signing a deed, and we're hearing by the way of video being leaked to us. I don't think that's what the Constitution gave him the power to do, and he informed the legislature. But my here's the biggest problem. What the legislature going to do? What the House of Representatives? What the Senate going to do? Do they have the backbone to veto that bill and say, Mr. President, you acted out of the Constitution. We cannot agree to this. Let us revisit the contract. Would they be able to do it?
Well, they own one now. Those ones that were the Lofa County one and the concession one. So hopefully before the end of the week, I think we'll hear something from there. But Amos, let me hold you. Let me bring in Nook. Let me bring Nook for in. Let's Nook. Nook, are you there? No. Number four. No. Number four. Nook. Number four. All right. He's on another call. Okay. But this is it. You think?
Look, Mike, it's the same thing the president said about that China deal, that they're going to do a battle trade. But this Senegalese deal, Mike, there is something deeper than it. Why 300 vessels? Now the deputy director is saying it's 100 vessels a year.
Look, I was calling you, but you're on the phone.
When he read it, just tell me,
No.
Mike. Mike.
Yes, Max.
Yeah, I said I was calling you, but I think you're on the phone. Okay. Okay, look. Okay. Amos, let me hold you there a little bit. Let's go to Nook. He's ready. Number four. There's the Article 57, because I raised a couple of issues here. So which one are you trying to address? Is say talking about the signing of the the deals between Senegal and Liberia, or you're talking about the tenure position?
No, the
oh, okay.
The what is it? Contract or agreement.
Yeah.
57 have to bring in the lawmaker. They will have to ratify it. So if the president goes and signs, the Constitution says you have the right, but that does not conclude the process. The last sentence in there says similar international agreement with concurrence of the majority. So the lawmaker they have to be involved.
Involving which way now? I mean, does he have to come and say, okay, this is what I signed, this is the document?
You have to come and present it to them. Say this is what I want, like the oil consignment concession agreement. You got to present it, and they will have to approve of it before you even go into effect.
Yeah, but given the fact of the latest development, especially where you are, you're the ambassador that representing Liberia there, you foresee anything of that nature happening?
Well, it's up to the lawmakers. If they don't ask, it's not my responsibility to ask. The lawmakers supposed to ask the president, what is that? What is this? Come and explain this to us. If they don't explain, if the president doesn't explain, this agreement doesn't go into effect. It will respect our laws.
Yeah, only if we're respecting it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, if we respect the law, it says the last portion of the article says concurrent of majority, which is two-thirds of the House and Senate. We have to agree before we go into effect. So signing the agreement, that's the president's prerogative.
Right. Now let's leave it on the table that yes, let's agree that it is still going through normal process as far as the Constitution is concerned, the mandate of the Constitution is concerned, Article 57, and take it from this perspective and say, okay, now it has been passed or so, and to 300 boats, trained fishermen. You know, we have no other further detail, but they are trained, and there are 300 or so coming on the Liberian waters to actually fish or to teach our people. Nogofo, do we have law stipulated in our law book that give us guardians and how to actually protect our seacoast and whatever belongs to us in the ocean that we own? And would it be something really in our favor, getting foreigners like of that huge number?
I don't know if it will be in our favor, but the way it comes to the lawmakers asking questions, we do have laws on fishery. Or if you look at the natural law, which was passed in June of 1961, Article 100 says, reports by licensed fishermen. All licensed fishermen shall support or report to the Ministry of Agriculture through the Bureau of Fishery on or before the 28th of every month. The zone they are fishing in, the amount of catch, the kind of equipment they're using, the value of the catch, the kind of fish they caught, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's there, we got law. It comes down to enforcing our law. If we don't, who do you blame? You blame the people coming?
So that means once we get to know the differences of those species, then we can know which one that is being protected. And
yeah,
okay,
it comes down to us. Even 97 of the sea law say crabs and lobster with eggs to ensure the procreation of species. All fishermen fishing in Liberia shall release crab and lobster caught and farmed with eggs. So if you catch a crab and got eggs, you release it back to the ocean. Now the problem is, do we have people to enforce the law?
Enforce the law, yeah. And now
we don't have.
And now the funny thing, let me hold you there. Let me go back to Amos. Amos, this is where we are now. We French. Let's say we bring in French people to the Liberian coast and communication. I don't know how they're going to manage that, in fact, because even this particular signing, it was done in French.
But Mike, that's the irony. And moreover, the president just gave the State of the Union address. Why didn't he mention in it? Well, he mentioned there was a historical vessel to Senegal. But why didn't he mention to the
There's no further detail. No,
he didn't mention that portion. But I think the local fishermen are supposed to fish, I think, 4 nautical miles. I think so. The local fishermen supposed to go 4 nautical miles into the Liberian water. Okay. Now, normally when the fishermen come, people go there to buy the fish and things and what have you. Or sometimes cause the security go there, people used to go there to check and see. But the issue you touch on is that you're bringing in the French people. We don't even know, because what I saw in the agreement they signed, it puzzles me. The language they use, that they are bringing these people to train local fishermen how to prevent piracy on Liberian water. Then, Mike, the Fontaine crew people been fishing for 100 years on Liberian water. You have the Coast Guard. And I'm saying, if the Coast Guard is not equipped that much, you ask for international help. But you go in to bring in 300 boats. You say they will be fishing in Liberian water. Now the issue of enforcement. They are not even talking about any species. Which one is in danger? Which one that you will release? Nothing has been done. And as the brother right there said, enforcement is the issue. You think if these people had enforcement in Senegal, where the sea today in Senegal will be depleted? No. That's when people they got no enforcement in Senegal. So any species they caught, what was in danger, they kill it. And now they come into Liberian water. You talk about the strings, the crab. They come into the water now because of the past history. Very dangerous way of fishing. The net they use. They say a strip under the bottom of the sea, the ocean. And now you are bringing these people into Liberia to fishing. And the way the deal is going already, knowing the government, you think what the Weah government go up to Senegal and sign a contract. You think the national legislature that I know with the experience of Noka and Iboma alone will refuse that will refuse that bill? Will refuse it? Given the past history of the national legislature with Noka, Iboma, and Ito, are they going to refuse it? And nobody today is even raising the question to ask the president to say, Mr. President, why didn't you inform us? It is your right to go out there and negotiate on Liberia. But the Liberian people must be informed of any decision that you're about to make. But that was not done. This was done under the cover of darkness. Will review the video, was post out there by people who got Liberian interest.
Yeah.
Who got Liberian interest posted the video before we start seeing it, and now we are raising the issue. So the thing here, Max, I'm feared because the repercussion, the local fishermen, how will people compete against those people?
Well,
and
probably Amos, they might include them in the contract. Oh, let me come to number 4. Are you there?
Yeah, I just sent you the law to your email, so maybe you can pull it out and
okay. If it is in the Constitution, then I got a copy.
No, it's not in the Constitution. It's a law by itself.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
I'll send it to your email.
All right. Thanks a lot. Now, this is a note. I mean, we have. I'm still trying to actually, get the whole understanding, because my understanding is that this contract, the fishermen, the 300 fishermen, maybe men and women that are coming, they're coming with, I think, 300 boats. If there are 300 boats or 300 men, I'm still out there to understand it, but 300. If the president say that within the agreement, it is stipulated that these are people that are coming to train our fishermen. Everything that has to do with private sales. So, is it their responsibility, or is it responsibility of the Coast Guard?
Maybe they got a technique to teach, but we all know the crew people been fishing for centuries.
Century. Yeah.
I don't know what's there to come to teach the crew, man. But then again, it's up to our lawmakers to ask the right question before they ratify this agreement. If they don't ask the right question, you blame the Senegalese? No,
they're looking for money.
They're looking for money.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a workable Coast Guard, is the Coast Guard going out there to patrol your territorial water? No, we don't have Coast Guard boat to go out there to do civilians on your water. So what we left with? What are we benefiting from this agreement? That's the question we should ask first. What are we benefiting?
Well, we should have been told, like what Amos was saying, on the day of even on the day of his arrival, they should have addressed the press. But what can the citizen do about it?
Should have been included in the State of the Nation address.
Maybe not too much detail, but at least when he gave him press, the time he arrived at the airport, because initially head of states, when they travel, by the time they come, they have to give press statement also, except in our case. But what is it, you think? Whether it's by law or constitutional, or in terms of the citizen, it's just the questions they need to ask, or what can citizens do in this kind of a case?
Well, the citizen can petition their lawmakers to ask the question, especially those from the southeast, where the crew people are known to be fishermen. So we ask all those from those areas, how they're going to vote. Because if you vote for the Senegalese that bring in 300 fishing canoe, and you got a canoe that you got to pedal with your hand, who will follow into the sea? The man with the engine. The kind of net to be used is also required by law to be towed. So we got to know the kind of equipment they bring in. If the lawmakers don't ask the right question, don't blame the Senegalese. Blame your lawmakers.
Okay.
The question I got is, have they seen the fishery law of Liberia? That the question you be asking them, have they seen it? If they haven't seen it, then how can you ask questions?
Right. Does the president himself know about it anyway?
Well, they got Bureau of Fishery at the Ministry of Agriculture. So would you ask them, have they seen the law? Do they have any thing they can fall back onto to do their work? When you must have a fishing company, steering toward had a fishing company. So they got to probably go back into the history book or their records to read what Steering Tomba was doing. But if you don't do your homework, I'm sorry, don't blame me.
You're right. All right, gentlemen, let me just please stick and stay with me. Let me just take few. I can't do all the papers now, but let me take few just of the stories that are trending in the front page Africa. Okay, let's quickly go, and I'll go to you both for you to give your own analysis with respect to the stories at the published. Okay, let's go quickly to this one. Who owns the private jet? That's the question there. Who owns the private jets? Liberia opposition political parties accused extended fingers of accusation. Liberia Rice NGO managed or mismanaged US 1.4 million Japanese grant. Liberian Rice NGO mismanaged US 1.4 million Japanese grants. And let's go to this one, Q&A. Rodney Sear on how Liberia's press is firing on the Weah. This one says far better off. Okay, George Weah claims Liberia is far better off in his second year as president, giving Liberia's fishes away. Giving Liberia's fishes away. Those are the headlines that are trending here. Let me see. First of all, let's take a gist at this particular story. Let me just give you insight of the story. Then I will go to my two guests to hear from their own personal analysis and opinion on this. Let's go to this. They say Liberia Rice NGO mismanaged US 1.4 million Japanese grants. Is a question mark, another statement. In the system with corruption, there is no quality of service to the people. To demand quality, one needs to this is, I think I got to start somewhere because it's not connecting well. All right, many Liberian companies and NGOs protest of not being recognized by the donors in awarding grants and contracts. Some of the few lucky ones that receive supports usually frustrate the efforts of the donors and Liberians who advocate that Liberian-owned companies and or NGOs be awarded these contracts. They either perform poorly on projects or mismanage the funds. As a result, supporting partners get skeptical of awarding contracts or funding Liberian companies to implement projects as on the donors' behalf. Front Page Africa has obtained several reports from assessments done by the Project Implementation Unit, PIU, at the Ministry of Agriculture, pointing out the mismanagement of US $1 million donor funded by a Liberian Rice NGO Community of Hope Agriculture Project, CHAP. The report highlights the implementation of the Japanese rice grant project called the Economic Recovery of Liberia Farmers in Ebola-affected counties. The grant number is blah, blah, blah. The project is being implemented in 5 counties, Lofa, Balsa, Bomi, Cape Mount, and Monserrate counties. The grant was prompted by the hit of the Ebola virus that badly affected the Liberian community, including agriculture sector. At the end of the Ebola disease emergency, there was the challenge of restoring Liberia's pre-Ebola progress to ensure peace, stability, full security, economic growth, and growth in exports that favor all segments of Liberia's society. The economic recovery of Liberia rice farmers in Ebola-affected counties project was financed by a grant from the government of Japan for an amount of US $2.1 million. Of this amount, US $2 million was given to the government of Liberia and US $0.1 million to AFAD to implement through a note verbal from the Embassy of Japan in Ghana on 9 February 2016. AFAD hired CHAP as one of its local implementing partners to carry out this project. The report states that a balance of US 0.64 needs to be returned to AFAD at project closure, and CHAP is yet to refund. The project aimed to address the restoration of productive capacity for Ebola-affected households that are of AFAD 5-county program for rice. The project targeted rice-producing households which had been affected by Ebola either as actual victims of the disease or as economic victims, whose livelihoods were devastated by imposed stoppage of markets, businesses, and transport. The project aimed to reach 1,800 rural poor rice farmers with at least 60% women in the 5 counties. Household size was assumed to average 5.1 in Liberia, resulting in 9,180 targeted beneficiaries. CHAP has support for the World Bank, CNS Rice, Mali, SRI Rice, Cornell University, USA, and the government of Japan through AFAD and the Liberian government to carry on the Japanese rice grant project implementation. Leak assessment report in the possession of this paper seems to prove the mismanagement of funds and materials provided to CHAP by the donors. According to preliminary findings in the report, on August 29, 2018, a team of 2 embarked on a 3-day assessment mission to 5 counties where the AFAD PIU is implementing the Japanese rice grant through CHAP. During the assessment, the teams employed interviewing the implementing partner CHAP, the farmers, physical verification, obtaining and reviewing all relevant documents relating to the projects, obtaining and reviewing documents relating to the project operations. In order to adequately verify all inputs procured and distributed by CHAP to farmers, the team, according to the report, requested all procurement documents and distribution reports evidencing farmers' receipt of inputs. CHAP submitted the team several documents including delivery notes and good notes between CHAP and the vendors, the report reveals. But the report, however, also revealed that CHAP did not present the project farmer beneficiary listing, indicating their respective locations, waybill of items, delivery to the farm, to the field, list of farmer group signing for items, and distribution report as the team requested. Let me come to you first, Amos. This is almost like a broad day, stealing from somebody. They gave you something to do. You betraying the people.
Mike, we are our own enemies. Liberians from all cross sections are draining our country down. You see, these guys go, and this is the problem, Mike, and sometimes it get to me. These guys are the one to call the native boys, the country boys. going to school, obtaining an education. Here is the crisis that hit the country and somebody from these areas. You go and organize yourself, get the loan, this grant, supposed to buy equipment and put these people together in the villages and town to help them to rehabilitate themselves. But they could now with the vendors. All the receipts, Mike, most of the receipts are fake receipts. They could now with the vendors say, oh, just give me the receipt. You give me this, you give me this. They go back to the villager and don't hardly get a villager anything. Now the people come to do a complete audit. They cannot even identify the group of farmers that they are giving the material to or equipment to. They can't be found. Now, how you expect the country to grow? How you expect the country to improve? You know, man, and you know, this time, every time we talk about corruption in Liberia, my mind just go on to what Professor Patrick Lumumba said. Because it's not just in government. It's even in because the NGOs are private sectors, the NGOs, the local NGOs are helping to destroy their own people. To destroy their own people. So you see the kind of corruption that is in Liberia is very systematic, planned, organized. It's like a map. This is like a game map. It will take people to break into that kind of corruption in Liberia. Because it's not just the government, it has spread on into the various communities, in the various aspects of Liberian society. So even the private sector, they cannot be trusted. 1.4 million are gone missing. No accountability. And what will happen to these people? Will the government go after them to bring them to justice? The notion is they say that foreign money, we don't care. So the government not doing anything. But look at the community that you are affecting. Some of these people are supposed to use that farm to make the farm and sell the proceeds produced to send the children to school, to send the children to hospital. But you are depriving those people and the children of that benefit. But you want to be the same person to point finger at the government official. So what is the difference between you and the government official? You stealing, depriving your community, and the government official is doing the same. So why were you pointing finger to the government official?
Yeah, man.
I thought people in the private area supposed to help to build up those communities. But all the people, man, you see the head of this project are people from those counties, are children from those counties, are children and people from those counties who will be head of this project because the locally, most of the time they say the people understand the local languages, they know the people.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you go there, you turn around to deprive your people, to deprive your brother and sister of healthcare, education, and other benefit that they should have gotten, and the people. So the question is, what can we do to change this system? One, we must have a government, Mike, that will try to fight this systemic corruption, this chronic disease in Liberia. There has to be a leader who will come out and say, enough is enough. But as long as we don't have those people, this thing will continue to drain Liberians down. It will continue to drain the country. It will continue to drain Liberians down. Because the corruption in Liberia is not just government official. It's all in the private area. And you can see living testimony of what is happening to the grant that was given to NGOs in Liberia, local NGOs. And what are the measures to protect those foreign countries that are giving on this grant? What is the mechanism? What is the mechanism set in place that will help us to curtail some of this movement? We don't see anything. There's no law. I mean, there's no enforcement of people taking government money or foreign government money as grant or whatever and just misusing it. And this is not the first time, Mike. It happened again The Japanese send oil product to Liberia to sell the product.
Yeah.
People mismanage that money. Today, that case is still in court. I don't know whatever will become the result. Involving, I mean, at the gas station, all the people, the Minister of Commerce, all the people. So you can see where are we heading?
All right, Amos. Let me hold you there. Let me come to number 4, Mr. Nelson. This reminds me of the Ebola money. The international community of the Red Cross came 2 years ago and reported that, you know, we mismanaged huge amount of money, the Ebola money, and this is something like supposed to actually promote the image of the country, because this is not somebody say, okay, I'm passing this money through you, Noko, for this community development community initiative to empower your people, but it's almost like a slap in the face of somebody doing good to you. What is your take?
Well, Max, our biggest problem is accountability and record keeping. You know, you get money and we don't know what happened to it. Nobody asks questions. The people who need to ask questions. Which are the lawmakers? They don't ask questions, and they're where we are. So until we can start asking questions to get answers, we will never go anywhere. Yeah.
And you think, I mean, with this kind of a, I can say damning report, you don't think how people are saying the chance of maybe losing something tomorrow that nobody will be interested?
We don't know if the reports have been concluded yet. The embassy, when they'll make it available. The president told us on Monday.
No, not that one yet. With the one we're talking about, this particular grants here, where it's been mismanaged.
The Japanese grant. Max, you and I can shout until heaven comes down. There will be no answer. They were elected to ask questions. That's the check and balance. Oversight power. But they don't. So you. It's just waste of time. Yeah.
Well, we got to shout, because we got to keep reminding them as well, because at least we're talking about it. Like the way you hear sometimes, you come, you educate us, you try to explain the Constitution to us. You're not wasting your time. You're really doing, great deal for many of us, because I won't law book that guardian, or we don't even know. Even the people that are even there to protect this book, they're not even reading it.
No.
It's something new I came across in the Constitution. Where for that I will engage the women that are in our house first of all, whether they have certified work. But let's see whether we can do the last story. Then we can call it this story. I'm going to share the photo with you. Some of you that are online right now. Who owns the private jet? That's a question mark. Liberia's opposition political parties accuse President Weah of secretly and I remember the last time when I was talking about the issue, one thing I said the last time, and I will repeat it on this platform. You like it, you don't like it, I said that for me, if Mr. President, if this president-elect, even on the inauguration day, if this president had announced to us and say, my people, this country have been long time. The oldest republic on this African continent. We do not have an airplane. I want us to purchase our own aircraft to say, let's say Air Liberia or so. And I want every Liberian to help to buy it. I will going to join this president. I want to contribute and we'll buy it. Even if the president comes to say, okay, you know why? I'm going to negotiate, and even the airplane going to cost about 1 million or so. I'm going to negotiate, and then I'm going to buy it so we can pay for it. We can be running and be paying for it. I'll go into agree. But for us to still be like how we are 50 years ago, we can have our own aircraft. Kenya Airways will charge us so much more than the European airlines.
We had aircraft. We had Air Liberia.
Yeah, we had it, but where is it? It lost sense. I mean, that one, forget it. We can't even get through. Even if it were even alive somewhere, it won't be alive this time around. It's already wrecked somewhere.
If people we let don't ask questions, we get no answer.
The people are betraying us. Anyway, let me take the story. Then I'll come back to you guys, to you fellow good citizens, so we can we can hear from you your analysis on the story. Let's see whether we can take. Okay, let me take the gist of the story. Then I will show you the pictures relevant to this story. All right, let's take a gist. They say here, the controversy surrounding President George Weah's constant use of a private jet for his foreign travels continues to expand as the opposition political parties believe the president actually purchased the private jet secretly. The jet with with tail identity FHEBO was first spotted at the Robos International Airport after President Weah's January 22nd inauguration. It was then speculated that the president had bought the plane for a lofty sum. However, in reaction to that speculation, President Weah, during a program at the Foreign Ministry, said his government was quite young and broke, that they could not even buy buses, less to say a private jet. The airplane issue is causing problems. We don't have a bus. How will we buy a 30 million plane? Where do we get this kind of news from? It is not possible for us to buy a plane for 30 million. We are just coming to office. The president equipped. The airplane they are talking about is for my friend who is the manager of a big company in Burkina Faso. He told me to use it anytime I want to travel because he has seen me use planes owned by Ivory Coast and others. He wants me use a plane that is not labeled to boost my morale too. President Weah added. President Weah played the plane low for a couple of months until it resurfaced at the RIA in November 2018 when he returned from France. A front page Africa investigation found that the private jet, a Dassault Falcon 900EX with tail number F-HEBO, which the president had been using, took him from Accra on November 15, 2018. However, its flight data stopped before it arrived at the Robert International Airport. According to an aviation expert, a lot of private jet owners remove their flight data from the public database to maintain secrecy about their movements. He, however, noted that such was not illegal, which is kept abroad. As part of their reaction to President Weah's statement of the nation-led rise, leaders of opposition political parties in Liberia on Monday alerted that the Weah-led administration had acquired a private jet to facilitate the president's foreign travels. They said the aircraft was purchased with money from government coffers. That aircraft is kept abroad to avoid any possible public backlash. They want you to believe the aircraft belongs to a friend. This is false. There's no wealthy person anywhere in the world to be so generous as to allow the leader of any nation use their aircraft for every travel. Who bears the cost of maintaining such an aircraft? The president may be thinking that you have no way of determining if the aircraft he flies irregularly was purchased last year. That was a part of the criminal loan deals that the president struck last year against growing public outcries, said Mr. Weymouth Pay, chairman of the Unity Party, on behalf of his on behalf of his colleagues in the opposition. Okay, it says here, Code of Conduct violation. Section 9.1 of the Code of Conduct says public officials and employees of government shall not receive nor encourage the giving of any form of bribe or partial gift in connection with the performance of his or her official duties, whether for himself or herself, or members of his or her family, or any other benefits that could have any influence on his or her professional approach to issues and the discharge of his or her official duties. This shall not include gifts given during traditional ceremonies and celebrations and fees paid for lobbying. The legislature shall enhance laws for the regulation of lobbying activities. It has section 9.4. A public official or employee of government may accept gifts other than cash or token gifts from foreign governments, donors, international or multinational organizations, or quasi-governmental organization closed, affiliated, or funded by a foreign government, but shall promptly declare such gift to his or her superior, who shall decide whether the public official or employee of government may retain the gift or must surrender it to government. On this basis, many believe that President Weah violated the code of conduct for not informing the nation about the private jet. It turned out that the wealthy friend in question is Mohamedou Bonkongwo, CEO of Iboma, a construction company in Burkina Faso. It was just a few weeks after the report of the private jet emerged that the Iboma financing agreement surfaced. It was speedily passed by the legislature and signed into law. The US $220 million loan financing agreement is aimed at financing the design, construction, and supervision of road corridors in Monrovia, Somalia Drive, Kesseley Boulevard to Sinkor, and northeastern Liberia, Tabita Zredru Road, including Tow Town to La Côte d'Ivoire and Zredru Greenville. The president came under fire for granting the US $420 million loan to his businessman friend whose plane he has been using for foreign trade, and a clean violation of the code of conduct and the conflict of interest. Despite being signed into law in June 2018, there has been official update on the status of the loan agreement to date. So let me just show you, you guys, the aircraft. Okay, beautiful photos here. This is how it looks like inside. For those of you that are watching, beautifully, and you can see our president majestically sitting, and the aircraft itself is so beautiful as well. So that's how it looks like inside. Let's go up a little bit. We'll see another photo. Let's see. Okay, this one, our excellency is coming down from the airplane. This is the aircraft as well, and I believe the guys on the side there are all well, the captains or so for this aircraft. So this is it in full length, in full view. This is the aircraft here. Private jet, big enough for more than, I don't know how many people or so. So the question is, who owns the private jet? Because the answers are yet to be provided. So let's see if we can go now to analyze it. First of all, start with Nokofo. Nokofo, what do you make of this story? You the lawman talking about code of conduct, constitution.
It comes down to who asks the question. The opposition can shout as much as they want. The very opposition, they got lawmakers within the legislative branch. Why can't they use their lawmakers to ask questions? I mean, right now it's all speculation. Who owns the plane? Who takes care of the plane? Where is this plane? Question. The president doesn't have to come in front and he can answer the question, right? And send it.
Okay.
Why can't we do that? We have planes before. We have PD1, PD2, but also were there in the 70s.
Yeah.
And what happened to the plane after the coup? It disappeared. But I ask question. We put out there that in my ratio sold them. But we don't know the factual answer. So until we can start asking questions the proper and the legal way, we get no answers.
Okay. Amos, as we wrap up on the show, what is your take on this story? Because we've been talking about this for long now, but this is more detailed now as compared to what we've been talking about. And I don't know.
You know, Mike, before the coup, we had Air Liberia. Air Liberia was being used as a public corporation. That was Air Liberia. Air Liberia went bankrupt during after the coup. But President Doe bought a jet plane for the Liberian government. That was a private plane. Now, that plane was during the war was taken to London, was parked in London. Emmanuel Shaw sued the Liberian government at the time when the war was going on. So there was a judgment in default because the Liberian had no representative to fight the case. I think Emmanuel Shaw got 10.7 million from that plane that he sold from the Liberian government. He said the Liberian government will own him during that time. So there was a judgment in default. So Emmanuel Shaw got, I think, 10.7 million from that lawsuit. He won the case and they sold the plane. Now, it's just a little bit of history. This plane in question, when President Weah took over, he went to Congo, and someone gave me some information, but I was not able to verify that. Because Emmanuel Shaw was in Congo, he was there too. Also, he had some connection there. And the story they gave me was they wanted to purchase a plane through the Congolese government. So the payment will be made to the Congolese government, and they will take care of the payment. But that story was not verified. And today, we made a whole lot of noise. President Weah, the jet plane has surfaced again. The last time they said that the jet was in Senegal. It was being parked in Senegal. The jet was parked in Senegal. Now it surfaced again in Liberia. Now here's the question. Will President Weah come out and tell the Liberian people, honestly, where the jet is coming from? Because we cannot be left in darkness. If the plane is coming from somebody, we want to know what is the person's interest in Liberia, what they're getting back. Someone not just take a jet plane worth, I don't know the price of a jet for 40, 50 million and just give it to someone and say, use it as you like. No. Who paying the pilots? The maintenance, who paying for it? So all these questions need to be answered. But the irony of Mike, President Weah can bring a jet and put it at the airport. It's parked there. There's money paid for that. That plane being parked there, money is being paid. And like today paper, I was reading the paper today. The AME doctors at the college of nursing. There's no current today, Mike, according to today's paper. There's no current at the college. So the student going back, they cannot go to school. And you have a jet plane parked at the airport.
Yeah.
The AME doctors at the college.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the African exponent. The students are not there, they are in darkness. And nobody can talk to them to when they will resume classes. But we have a jet plane parked at Royal Sea. And this president is telling people that the life is better than before. Can that really add up to what he's saying? Look, Mike, it is not time as AK Nugufo was saying. And here's the problem. You have opposition in the House. But Mike, there's a political game that plays in party politics. The speaker has to recognize it before you can come on the floor to say anything.
Oh yeah. Even here, yeah.
If the speaker doesn't recognize you, you can't raise any issue of national concern.
No.
You can only make noise maybe in your office or to his office. But on the
Speaker
agenda
get
floor,
power.
to bring that issue to the floor, even if you read the speaker has to put that thing on his agenda before it can be discussed in parliament or in the house. And if the speaker is sidelining the opposition, we can talk, they can make any noise in the house. We're not going to go anywhere until the speaker is willing to bring those issues on the floor to be discussed. Other than that, we'll not make no progress. So these are issues when we talk about election has consequences. President Weah and his party and the ruling party, I know that ruling party in Liberia, I don't know how to call them, but there is tremendous, the progress that we were making, it has been scaled back. With all the kind of question mark, and we're talking about who doesn't have money. Now, how the country, other country will look at you to borrow you money when you have your president have a jet plane sitting down at the airport, a private jet. And you are smart to know who got the plane. They know. And you going out there to start begging for money? Are you really serious? When people in Liberia living on less than $1, and look, man, why use a private jet now? Commercial jet will be all right for Liberia. Cut down the huge delegation of traveling with people because the country doesn't have money, according to you. So, man, there's a serious problem. Let the Liberian people join us to demand an answer. Who owns the jet? What is doing in Liberia? And who behind it? What are the hands? You took a contract and just single-handedly give it to your friend. Single-handedly give your friend $24.7 million contract in Liberia. Nobody question you. And if we want to go by the Constitution, they say anything over $200 should be reported. Should be reported. But hey, you have a plane that's sitting on there. Who paying for that plane? Who paying the pilots? Who paying the insurance? Who paying the maintenance? Who paying the flight attendants? Is that coming out of Liberian coffer? And you're saying that the country is broke? People living on less than $1? People cannot go to school? Liberia have 338 doctors. That is a record from the World Health Organization. 338 medical doctors Liberia have. And they are to cater to 4.7 million people. And they say, according to them, there are 1,150 patients per doctor. And yet today, the medical school is closed, lack of current. And there's a private jet parked at the Rawa International Airport or whatever airport, whether Springfield or Rawa, parked there, waiting for the president anytime to travel. And these things are happening in the country. And lawmakers are silent. The speaker silent. Speaker silent other people. Cannot bring this issue to the floor to be discussed. So what is this transparency? What is this speech that the president gave that Liberia will not be spectators? Can his words lay up to those things? No. But we can talk. It's left with collective effort of the Liberian people to now see that the life is far worse than ever before.
All right, Mas. You know, when the news is beyond the scope of understanding, sometimes you don't know what to do, and all you need to do. Let me just. I know we talked a little bit about this feature, but let me just show you how the airlines looking at some of you guys, how the people looking like. It's beautiful. Senegalese are working with a lot of fish on their heads. They're just coming in. And it says here, give various fishes away. It's a question mark they are asking. And this is where this is the time the contract was signed, because I saw the video. That's the president of Senegal there. With his special assistant or so. And this is, if the contract goes in, this is how you're going to see our waters. They're all going to be controlled by foreigners, uh, French-speaking guys also. I don't know if there are any other photograph. Yeah, no. Okay, so this is how it's going to be like if the contracts go into well, if I don't know, I mean that one is a showcase anyway because the president bring the team from all the way abroad and can't tell you say at the contract abroad. You can't question it and say we not want it. Come on, man. Okay.
But Mike,
So,
if you listen to the guy who is the deputy director said that they not even mention that that this agreement will go to the national legislature. They said that the Minister of Finance and Planning and Economic Affairs and the Minister of Justice supposed to attest to it, and that's it. That's what the director said. The deputy director said it will only come back for the Minister of Planning and Economic Affairs and the Minister of Justice to attest to it. That's it. So accepting the House of Representatives call the president in and say, hey, what happened to the agreement? We want to see it. What is in there for the Liberian people? And Mike, the owner said that the fish will be sold in Liberia. But how much revenue will the Liberian government generate from it? It's not specified.
Amos, what I would do? No, what I would do, because the story on this particular on the particular headline is quite lengthy. What I would do tomorrow on the show, I think we'll just deal with this. We'll take our own time, we'll read it, and you can take your own time and read it and get acquainted with it, and then we'll come back and read it to the public, and then we can discuss it better. Because I've seen some details here.
Yeah.
Liberian
you talk about $1,000 for each vessel. That's a registration flat rate, $1,000.
Yeah. I've seen some detail here that Liberian people need to be aware of, and this kind of to me, this kind of a project here, I think your people on the ground first need to be aware of before even you go, because we have fishermen in Liberia. Okay, we have we have a whole body put together. Do they know about it, or are they just being caught by surprise? Say, boom, people come and take over the water and you got to cooperate with them.
You and I, we got a video from Senegal. We're not from Liberia.
Yeah.
So you think the common fishermen were consulted? No. And you look at that water from Monrovia, Basso, Riversell, Sano, Kidmont, Riversell, all the area, the coastal area, all the area will be affected. These people will be going all over to do anything. The government has given people free lesson, Mike. Free lesson. And what will happen to the local fishermen if they cannot fishing to support their family? What the government going to do about that? What is the protection that the government ensuring in that contract to protect the local fishermen? There's nothing to protect them. Oh. How can they compete with the guy who got a speeder motorboat on the water? How can they compete with this guy? But as you said, tomorrow we'll dive into deeper, because the fishermen in Liberia, the people got to stand up, Mike. They got to stand up, because it's their livelihood that is being put on the line. People in West Point, Popo Beach, all these areas, it's a livelihood being put on the line by the government. Why the government cannot get a Coast Guard? Why are you paying the Coast Guard? Why they can't mine your water? You got to go bring in Senegalese to come train people, local people to mine the water. Then why you establish a Coast Guard for? Why are you paying that? If that's the case, then you need not to have a Coast Guard. Then dissolve the Coast Guard and bring in the French people to control your water or to train your locals. If that is the case, the government cannot be spending money on Coast Guard. Then you say you're going to bring in people to train local fishermen to prevent piracy. No, that doesn't make no sense. It doesn't add up. There's another criminal deal in Liberia to exploit the country of the marine wildlife.
Right. Okay, Amos. Let me say thanks. Thank you very much as well to you, and thanks for your contribution. Tomorrow we'll be back on the show, and then we'll do more analysis with respect to issues in our country. Thank you so much for tonight.
Okay, Mike. Thank you, and thank you to our viewers and many listeners.
Okay, all right. That's Mr George there, all the way from the USA. We're also working hard to ensuring that Liberia is put back on the map. I'm going to share this with you again. Already at the beginning, I am going to read it again, just for you to be aware what the step we have taken. That's Justice Forum Liberia, UK. We have decided uh, to engage the U.S. Embassy and use it, telling them that we are not happy with the date that has been set aside by our president to give us a report on the $16 billion that went missing. We think that this delay is a delay tactic, perhaps that could change the story in a way that if any further investigation is to be requested for, could take years, if not months. And so we are saying no. The Justice Forum is saying no. We want the report to be out before the date that the president said it will be out, by the end of February. So this is the letter we wrote today to the British Embassy, and also CC copy the USAID. That's the United States Aid for International Development. This is Justice Forum, Liberia, UK. We're just going to do the letter now and then we'll be taking leave of you until tomorrow. All right, this is the letter CC copied to USAID, Liberia, 502 Benson Street, Monrovia, Liberia, addressed to Her Excellency Christine Eder, U.S. Ambassador to Liberia, Benson Street, Monrovia, Liberia, 30 January 2019. I'm going to take my time to read the letter, as my eyes are getting a bit dim now also. Your Excellency Ambassador Eder, a few months ago, Liberians were informed regarding a missing container or containers of printed local currency which was brought in the country to assist in balancing the economic crisis the nation is faced with, focusing on retrieving the excess money that was on the market. This news went wide like fire in the savannah grass, and up to today, Liberians, especially in the diaspora, are faced with embarrassing questions regarding such money in the total of Liberian dollars 16 billion. We heard huge conflicting statements from key individuals, including the current Minister of Information, Minister Len Eugene Nangbe, the chairman of the governing CDC party, Mr. Molba Molu, the finance minister, Mr. Samuel Tue, and the central bank governor, Mr. Nathaniel Patrick, combining all of their accounts and taking into consideration what each of them said, it is convincing that this money is gone missing. Your Excellency, when the people of Liberia decided to reach to you and your government to assist in instituting an investigation, you and your embassy accepted to help. All Liberians were happy for this gesture, and we celebrated, and probably many are still celebrating and waiting on the outcome. Madam Ambassador, a few days ago, the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency George Weah, delivered a nationwide address also known as State of the Nation speech. During his speech, the President told the Liberian people and the rest of the world that the missing 16 billion is still being investigated, and that USAID, through your office, to your embassy and others who were involved in the investigation, will make their report available by the end of February 2019. Your Excellency, as advocates for social justice and one of the many civil society groups who have been campaigning for the truth to be told about this money, we are not happy with such timetable given by this administration for the release of the report that has been completed and documented. We want to also remind you, your embassy and you said that your reputation is at stake right now, and any attempt by you people not releasing this report before said date will make us to question your credibility as well. We, the Liberian people, have waited long enough for such economic criminal act of certain individuals who want to still see our pregnant women going to hospitals and healthcare centers to give birth, but either both of them die or the woman will come home without her child. Madam Ambassador, as a woman and a mother, we want you to think how such money could have transformed many of our dilapidated healthcare centers across Liberia, transform many of our schools where the kids of Liberia are sitting on a bare floor to learn. Think about the thousands that are still going to bed hungry, leaving for schools in the morning without breakfast, etc. Your involvement in this investigation was like you coming out of your embassy during the war and sharing rice to Liberians. The joy was beyond explanation. We are begging you and your team, including USAID, to please make this report available to the Liberian public before the date stated by President Weah. We are sure that by now such report is already with the Secretary of State for African Affairs. But why not us that the report is so particular about? We are also forwarding this letter to USAID. We say many thanks for your kind intervention in this matter as we remind you of what you wrote on your website as stated herein, and I quote, "At Embassy Monrovia, our mission is to help Liberians succeed. We support this mission by working with our Liberian partners to initiate and pursue innovative, sustainable efforts that, one, promote peace, security, and the resolution of regional conflicts. Two, encourage equitable economic growth. Three, improve governance and rule of law. Four, expand equitable access to quality educational opportunities. Five, improve health of women and children. And finally, advance the prosperity and safety of Americans at home and abroad." Yours truly, Justice Forum Liberia, based in the United Kingdom. This is a letter we sent to the embassy, to the U.S. Ambassador near Monrovia, and we also CC copied USAID. On this note, well, those of you that are against my advocacy, you got a long way to go. My mental strength is there, and a lot of people that we're working together. We are working in the interest of Liberia. Just leave it. Nothing you will do that will stop me from doing what I'm doing. I will do it. I will sit and talk, and we engage those we're supposed to engage diplomatically. On this note, I want to say thank you so much for all of your support to all of my platforms. This is it. It is for all of us. Liberia for all of us. We got to talk, and let's talk. It is for the benefit of the generation and generations to come. Oh, Mama Liberia, corruption is bad. Have a pleasant time. God bless you. As usual as well, God bless the continent of Africa. And above all else, God bless Mama Liberia. I am out. I love you all.